is probably going to shock you because I'm sure you've seen the coverage of this video right here. The coverage has been insanely bad. Some of the worst coverage, in fact, that I've seen in my entire life and career following this stuff. And it's not just bad or wrong, it's dangerous. And I'm going to show you what the truth is, or the closest thing I can find to it behind this video. And I think I can change your mind if you've already made it up about what you've seen here. On the right, we have Jonathan Pentland. He is an Army sergeant who's now been charged for his interaction with this young black male who he said was wandering around his neighborhood. Now, this man on the left has not been identified, but I'm going to help you with that too as we go through this. I want to start with this because I think it's poignant. Here's D. Chris Bart on Twitter. It's difficult to imagine a scenario where the sergeant's reactions on the street are appropriate. He was bullying and assaulting a young man on the sidewalk as if he owned everything in sight. He clearly doesn't understand how to handle himself in public. Difficult to imagine a scenario where this was appropriate. I'm going to take you to task on that because you've probably just seen the video, which you don't know any context around the video. You've probably not heard anything about why this occurred, and maybe there is. Maybe there is a scenario where you change your mind. So before we get to just a little bit of the video, I want to show you this. Some of the local coverage here from WACH Fox. Charges filed, confrontation caught on camera in Summit neighborhood. Leon Lott, the Richland County Sheriff of South Carolina, has announced charges against Jonathan Pentland, who's a soldier at Fort Jackson, third-degree assault charges. Then you have the AP. Listen to how they lace up this paragraph. A white Army non-commissioned officer depicted in a viral video accosting and shoving a black man in a South Carolina neighborhood has been charged with third-degree assault. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to show you just a peek of it. Then I'm going to show you the reaction to the video, and then I'm going to blow your mind with just how bad the media got all of this. Here's a snippet.
Go away right now. Call the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting. You know what? Maybe you should hang on a little longer. We'll see how it goes. Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here?
Walking.
Then walk.
Okay, that's what I was doing. She came out of the house.
Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away.
I already walked away, he said.
Walk away right now.
This is Pentland on the right.
You got this one coming.
I'm happy to help you. I didn't hit you. There's a difference between
Pretty
pushing
sure you were the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressing on their neighborhood.
Someone came running.
Walk back.
You better walk away. You walk away. You're talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
Walk
that.
away.
Your wife was speaking.
Check it out. You either walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
All right, so the back and forth continues like this. That shove was the main point of contention. There may have been another push like that on the sidewalk, which broke his phone, this man on the left. And out of frame here is Pentland, the guy on the right, his wife. You'll also see another woman in the screen there, and she's related to this as well. But this video goes viral with zero context. The media runs wild. You've got this white man with a shaved head. You know, he's very Army in appearance. And when you see something like this, it goes into your brain, into your frontal lobe, and hits all those preconceived notions that you have. And cognitive biases kick in, and you go, look, here's skinhead white guy bullying this young black guy in the neighborhood. But it's far more complicated than that. And the video led to this. Here's some of the protests that happened outside of the Pentland house in this neighborhood in Summit. See them gathered, bullhorn.
Yeah, she was definitely in that window because that blind, I seen that window.
It got a little more rowdy from here. There was some slight damage to the household, which was confirmed by a local reporter here. This is from WACH. This is the house itself. They said that they're going to have a deputy all day and night now at this premise because of these different gatherings and the aggressive crowd that has been outside.
Right, that's it.
That's it. That's all we got is bullets.
All we got is bullets, or something.
Hell no. I got my license in the mail 2 weeks ago. I got it in my wallet. Concealed carry license. Come messing with me, you're getting shot.
All right, so this is what they're saying as they're out front of the Pentland household. Now we start to rip this apart, and I show you just how bad the media coverage was. This isn't hard to find. Here's a witness who was nearby. Somebody decided, hey, let's talk to some of the people and see if they know anything about it. Listen in.
Me about like what happened yesterday. Can someone tell me what happened?
I got the story from the lady who started the whole thing. Mr. John was in the house.
God damn.
For some reason, this lady, I don't know if she lying. I can't say she lying, but she's saying that the young man in the video sexually assaulted her daughter. They friends. The daughter 21, he 22. What happened was they are quote unquote dog walking partners.
All right.
The boy tugged on her shirt, she said. She came out yelling for help. She didn't explain how they got into the argument. She won't explain that. So boom, she said that she came out in the middle of her street and yelled help for 5 minutes and nobody in the neighborhood came out. So she ran all the way from over there. She ran from all the way over there across it to Mr. John's house and rang the doorbell, and he came out, and then that's when you seen the video. So
all right, there you go. So he's saying this now is getting more complicated. Somebody suggests that she was sexually assaulted by this young man, and that was the reason for the confrontation that you just watched. In fact, see the person that alleged this sexual assault running to the front door of Jonathan Pentland, the man who you saw in that video. And she runs up to the front door, says, help me, help me, help me. He runs outside. She goes, it's that guy over there. And that's where the video starts. That's some important context. Here it is. You see the footage. And you can see her running right here. In just a second. She's running right there in the background. You hear in the background, racism has got to stop, yada, yada, yada. What this is so much more complex. Here it goes right here.
He used the T.I. word. Idiocy. Thought it would tip over there for me.
So she ran to that house. That's where she got this guy, Jonathan Pentland, and alerted him that something had happened. Here's the Washington Post finally doing some heavy lifting. There was 2 reports of alleged assault made against the young man after deputies responded Monday, according to the sheriff's department, and they are being investigated. The young man has an underlying medical condition. Remember that. The young man has an underlying medical condition, it says, and that may explain the behavior exhibited in the alleged incidents. On April 8th, one incident report says the man allegedly put his arm around a woman's waist, put his hand down the right side of her shorts, and then put his arm back around her waist as her pants were partly down. He's taking her clothes off. He's trying to rip her bottoms off. On April 10th, another report alleges the man repeatedly picked up a baby without permission and tried to walk away. Pentland told officers who had responded to a physical dispute that he pushed the man in fear for his safety and the safety of his wife. Deputies were told that the man approached several neighbors in a threatening manner and that someone asked Pentland to intervene. They had asked him to go there because of what was happening. The authorities say there was some other things that occurred that really doesn't justify the actions of Pentland. This was according to one of the officers that just tossed him under the bus and beyond there. Are you kidding me? That doesn't justify him going up and being aggressive toward if he's sexually assaulting women in the neighborhood? If he's picking up people's babies? This is more and more complicated. Follow me still, okay? Because that was the Washington Post. Now we have this. Here's our guy. It's DeAndre Williams. This is allegedly the same gentleman that was in this video. Williams has a medical condition for which he needs treatment. In this case, he had not been seen since January 15th. This was posted more than 2 weeks later that they were trying to say, hey, we don't know where he is. He's wandering around these neighborhoods. Well, the good news was they found him. DeAndre Williams, 21 years old, was found Friday morning, according to this article. A 21-year-old vulnerable adult was found safely on January 30th after he was last seen January 15th. DeAndre Williams was at his home in Northeast Columbia on January 15th before he left in an unknown vehicle. This guy is somebody who has some mental issues, and he is not good at being in control of himself, his actions, or his own life. But his family apparently isn't watching him that closely, and he's wandering through this neighborhood and sexually assaulting women, according to their claims. We find right now the Richland County Sheriff just totally, absolutely throwing this guy under the bus. Not getting the whole story.
Initially announced that at 8:30 this morning, Jonathan Pentland was arrested for assault and battery 3rd degree. in reference to the video that we've all seen. It's a very disturbing video. We're not going to tolerate or condone in Richland County.
All right, so a disturbing video. We're not going to tolerate it. He gets thrown under the bus there. He gets thrown under the bus on other occasions. Here's more of DeAndre Williams. This is him in a trespassing charge right here, showing that he's been going in some other neighborhoods. Drugs, who cares? Disorderly in public, and malicious injury to animals, personal property injury value more than $2,000 but less than $10,000. So he has a history. Even though Fort Jackson has tossed out Jonathan Pentland and dismissed him, and released a whole bunch of stuff, and finally backpedaled a little. Lots of thoughts, opinions, and perspectives out there about our unsettling and disturbing incident. My focus and our team's focus going forward is to do the right thing the right way. Slow is smooth and slow is fast. This is the lead, man. This is the headpiece of this. Deputies were told, as the Washington Post said to us, several neighborhoods were approached in a threatening manner. Then they asked this guy Pentland to intervene. You've got 2 women alleging sexual assault or assault of some type against this man, which is why you get somebody fired up and you get him interacting with this person. When he said this is a tight-knit community, it's also a diverse community. It's not a majority white community with some random black kid wandering through. This is a diverse community. There's all sorts of people that live over there. But the racism tornado is whipped up. No one cares about the context around this. Isn't that insane? That the media has done such a piss-poor job in covering this story that this is what we end up with? It's very far away from the truth. And if somebody wanted to, they could go and do a couple of articles about this and expand on what the Washington Post did. It's difficult to imagine a scenario where the sergeant's reactions on the street are inappropriate. Let me give you 2 scenarios to wrap this up, and then we're going to go to you and your comments. Scenario 1, racist skinhead white guy army sergeant confronts black kid for wandering through his neighborhood, bullies him because he doesn't want people like him with his color skin in that neighborhood. Community reacts. Everybody says this is about racism. The army sergeant is arrested for pushing this guy and breaking his phone, and now the world is watching this, and these people are out of their house because of all the threats against their lives. You heard some of those. That's scenario 1. You know what scenario 2 is? This young guy, who often wanders away from his family, who seems to lose track of him, is suffering from some severe mental issues and is not good at being socially aware of his behavior and activities. He wandered around some of these women and through this neighborhood previously to the point where at least 2 of them considered sexual assault or assault what happened to them as a result of his actions. Then, after complaining and running to the door of Army Sergeant Jonathan Pentland, he rushed to try to help out. That's a very different story, isn't it? What do you think? If you like this video, I'd appreciate that. I'd like to get the more complex, nuanced version of the story out there as far as we possibly can to combat all of this misinformation that we've seen. But maybe you think that he still was in the wrong. Maybe you think that he was a bully. Maybe you think that all of this wasn't warranted. Maybe you think the media butchered the story like I do. There is some nuance to it, and he's aggressive, but the media has absolutely butchered this. Give me your thoughts. I'll read your comments as I always do. Again, share this with a friend if you're interested. If you're new around here, hit follow over on Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie. Videos just like this every single day. Whatever's happening in the news, I'm all over it, and I'll bring it to you. So hit follow over on Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie or YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. We'll talk to you again real soon.